Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course the law of attraction. In today's video, I'm doing a twin flame reading for the Twin Flame Collective. So this reading is created specifically for twin flames, or those of you who suspect you may be dealing with a twin flame connection at this time. Now, with that being said, I do channel collective divine masculine and collective feminine energies through these readings. And although these energies tend to play out the most profoundly and intensely through twin flame connection specifically, you can experience some of these dynamics to a certain degree in other forms of love connection. So you may find that because of the way that the masculine or feminine energy is trending collectively, you may be able to connect some of these messages to certain kinds of romantic situations or soulmate situations as well. However, as I said, this is intended specifically for twin flame connection, so most likely this reading will resonate most with those of you who identify as twin flames. To start off this reading, I actually felt guided to pull 3 cards from the traditional tarot. Now, this is really interesting because I never use my traditional tarot deck. This is actually one of my very first times using it. But now I see why I was pulled to this deck, because I pulled 3 cards prior to starting this recording that I feel resemble the past, present, and future of the collective and of many who will be listening to this reading. By the way, someone may have a dog or 2 dogs. This is so random, but I looked out my window and saw one of my apartment neighbors with 2 dogs, and that just really stood out to me. So someone may be a dog lover or have a dog in this situation. As you guys know, I do like to channel specific words or ideas or images as they come through, although very often these are meant for very specific individuals who will be drawn to these readings. So, as I always say, be sure to use your own intuition to determine which messages are for you and which are for others. That was completely random. But getting back to these 3 tarot cards, the first card I pulled that I felt resembled a past kind of energy or situation for the collective is the 8 of Pentacles. Now, when I looked at this card, what I really felt from this card was preparation, energetic preparation for something that was coming, a kind of building momentum, a kind of culminating. Now, of course, this energy could play itself out differently depending on you and your situation specifically. But I did hear business or work or career for some of you, so this could be very related to your personal life, doing something, working toward something in school or in business or in work that was kind of reaching a culmination point. Now, I do sense that for others of you, this won't apply to finances and work, but this will actually apply specifically to your twin flame connection. I heard over the last few years specifically, there's been this kind of building, growing energy, either through your physical 3D connection with your twin or in the energetic realm. These could be intensified synchronicities, dream experiences, or again, these could be physical, literal interactions between the 2 of you. Regardless, there's been this kind of building. And all of this has been energetically preparing you for what collectively we are experiencing now. Now, when I pulled this present card, I immediately got a very intense and somewhat dark, somewhat despairing energy from this card. I feel that those of you who connect with this present energy tarot card may not connect with it all the time, meaning you may have moments of feeling this kind of heaviness, feeling this intense energy, and then at other times, You may actually be moving more so into the third card, the future card, which I will get into in a minute. But with this card, specifically, some of the words that came up for me were despair, darkness, heaviness, hurt, betrayal. There's something about that word betrayal. I heard the word backstabbing, so that might connect with someone as well. I heard the person closest to me betrayed me, so someone may feel, and I do feel that could just be for one person, someone may feel as though someone that they cared about or loved, this could be a platonic situation, a family situation, of course could be their twin flame, but someone very near to them. I feel that this person somehow gets this sense of I was betrayed, or I was stabbed in the back, or I gave everything to this person or situation and it came to nothing. Again, these are energies that I'm channeling here. So the way that this energy manifests for you specifically could be very different. It will be very unique to your personal circumstances. So only take what connects with you. But then the third card I pulled here, I got a lightness from this card. I feel that almost the present card I pulled, which again was the Ten of Swords, and the future card I pulled, which was the Six of Pentacles, I feel like these two cards almost represent the shift from the 3D to the 5D. The 3D being more so this Ten of Swords card, this intensity, this heaviness, this sense of being stabbed in the back or betrayed either by people close to you platonically, family, people in general, just feeling this sense of isolation and almost a kind of betrayal by life or by people close to you. And then moving into this, what I'm saying almost resembles the 5D, this shift into lightness, into light, the shift from darkness into light. This card, this Six of Pentacles card, I feel is the full circle. It's the fruition of everything that was being prepared for with the Eight of Pentacles in the first card and the past card. It's like everything was preparing for this moment of hurt, of pain, of confusion, of intensity, because through the portal of that pain, through the portal of that intensity, we are now raising from the 3D to the fifth dimension, to the 5D. We are shifting timelines essentially. And as many of you know from a video I previously recorded on timeline jumping, whenever we are shifting into a higher timeline, either collectively or individually, there is always a sense of confusion and disorientation involved in that, and sometimes a sense of pain. It's like having one foot in, one foot out. And I feel that many people may feel this way. You have one foot in this 3D world, meaning this 3D existence of pain, of hurt, of betrayal, of confusion, either in life or within your twin flame connection. Simultaneously, you have another foot in the 5D, in the lighter realms, in the higher realms, understanding that all of these experiences you've had were actually preparing you energetically for something greater. That you chose all of this on a soul level, even if you've forgotten that you did choose this, and that your twin chose this along with you, that you chose to experience these very heavy, dark circumstances together in order to transmute that darkness and heaviness into light, into lightness. I did also feel guided prior to recording this reading to pull a single card from the Moonology deck that I felt would be this overarching theme or what we were moving into. And the card I pulled is Hold Your Vision. Interestingly, this card kind of shows a half moon, and I heard halfway mark or halfway point. Now, I'm feeling a few messages from this card. One message is simply hearkening back to the idea of feeling as though there is one foot in, one kind of existence or way of being or way of thinking, and another foot in another way of existing, another way of being, which again is just a different way of wording this collective shift from the 3D to the 5D. However, the other message I felt from this card is a very strong message of guidance for someone that says things may feel very dark, very confusing now or at certain times. With this Ten of Swords card, you may feel hurt, you may feel confused, you may even feel betrayed either by yourself, by people around you, by your twin, or just by life. I heard someone saying, why did this have to happen? Or why did it have to happen this way? I'm feeling this wave of really intense emotion from whoever I'm channeling with that message, by the way. But I feel this strong message of guidance. Hold your ground, hold your vision, stay fixed with this fixed moon card, stay fixed on what your soul knows, even if you can't always consciously remember it, which I know sounds strange, but it's like I'm getting this message of daily reconnect yourself to your higher self, to that fifth dimension self, to the self that is already fully embodying and experiencing that lightness. And there's this emphasis that this is a daily habit ritual, which I've been saying a lot with all of the intense energies many of us have been feeling and experiencing, establishing daily rituals, daily habits of energy clearing, of grounding yourself, of reconnecting yourself, your 3D physical self we think of as the self, with your higher self is so essential, especially at this time of this powerful shift from 3D to 5D taking place collectively, yes, but for Twin Flames, many of us are path forgers. We are leading the way in this shift from the 3D to the 5D. We are, in a sense, breaking through the forest, which is always more difficult than being the one to follow the path behind. I hope that that specific message reached someone who needed to hear it, because I do feel someone did need to remember that they are a path forger, that others will follow behind the path they are forging forward. But as they are forging that path, it may feel very lonely at times, or even very challenging, because you're breaking through this dense forest, you're breaking through the trees. You're wondering, how can I know I'm going the right direction if no one has walked this path before? But the reason no one has walked your path is because you are the one forging it. I also do want to pause to mention here that I really would recommend as a daily habit ritual some form of meditation routine, whatever personally resonates and feels good for you. Personally, I most enjoy and utilize subliminal meditation, meaning I use audio subliminal tracks while meditating to clear out negative vibrations and energies in my aura and really raise my frequency to assist me in reconnecting with my higher self. Now, I started using subliminals a few years ago because I noticed that I wasn't getting results from the law of attraction, and I came across information about the subconscious mind. And through this research, I came to realize our subconscious mind is a reflection of our energy field. So it's really powerful in dictating our overall vibration and therefore what we attract back into our lives. Now, the problem for me and for most of us is that I had these negative subconscious thoughts and beliefs I wasn't even fully aware of. But even though I wasn't fully aware of them, they were playing on this loop in the back of my mind, really keeping my vibration in a low place, regardless of how much I tried to use these other kinds of techniques to raise that vibration. It was like I was always being weighed down by these unconscious beliefs and thoughts that were keeping me stuck in these patterns of negativity and self-sabotage. Now, nearly all of us do experience this because we collectively pick up these negative thoughts, vibrations, and beliefs from society, from the world around us, from a collective consciousness. Now, subliminals come into play here because they are designed to bypass the conscious filter of the mind and implant affirmations on the subconscious. So this has the effect of really getting past that gatekeeper of the conscious mind and deeply reprogramming your subconscious, which again is reflected in your energy field. So personally, when I started using subliminals, I began seeing results in my life and in my vibration and and in what came back to me and what I manifested very quickly. So I started creating them myself, and this is how my website Sound and Soulful was created. So as you can see on the screen, on this website, I've created over 100 subliminals for all areas of life. So I have subliminals for physical appearance changes, for mood shifts, for material manifestations, for love and relationships, and of course for twin flames specifically. I will be leaving a link to my favorite, most comprehensive twin flame energy clearing subliminal. This is a 7-chakra twin flame clearing. So the link to that will be in the pinned comment and description box. You can try out this subliminal or any that I've created completely free by creating a free trial account on my website. And again, all of that information is linked below. So now that I've shared some of the initial information that I channeled prior to starting this recording, I do want to get into channeling messages specifically for those of you listening, as I usually do. Now, in order for me to channel these specific messages for those of you who are listening to this video, I will ask you, if you feel guided, to subscribe to this channel and also to like the video, because by liking and subscribing, I'm actually able to virtually pick up on your energy more easily, which allows me to channel more specific messages for you and your person or situation. Because I always say for your person, but I do know that many of you listening do come to these readings for more life guidance kinds of messages, or you may not have met your twin flame yet in the physical. And of course, because twin flame connection isn't exclusively or even in large part about love and connection. That's, yes, a part of this manifested journey, the love, the attraction, the romance, etc. But that's really just a manifestation of a very deeper level energetic connection happening and unfolding, not just within our physical interactions with our twin flame, but individually as well. This twin flame energy, this connection, affects us in so many profound ways over the course of our lifetime, regardless of how much or little interaction we have with our twin in the physical. Of course, as I was starting to shuffle, the yin yang card came out in the reverse position. This is the very first card that I pulled for this reading, which is so synchronistic because, as many of you know, this is the card that I most strongly associate with twin flame connection. By the way, I do apologize if my voice sounds a little bit off today. I have fall allergies, so I'm not sick or anything, but sometimes my voice gets a little bit scratchy. So with this yin yang card reversed, usually in the reverse position, I take this card to mean that something is a bit unbalanced or coming into balance within twin flame connection collectively at this time on the planet. So I want to know what is out of balance or coming into balance. Let's pull a few more cards here. I'm feeling guided to pull 3 cards. So I've got 1 card. How is this twin flame connection out of balance? The word ran came out, and also rapidly. So someone could have, in this connection in the past, left or disconnected very quickly. This won't apply for everyone, and I'm also sensing this could be recent for some of you, but for many of you, this will actually be something that took place potentially months or even years ago. This may not necessarily be a recent energy, but I am getting this image of someone either packing very quickly or leaving very quickly. That packing might just be kind of a metaphor for this person leaving very fast. And hopefully I can channel more information about that later, although I do feel that won't connect with everyone. So as always, only take what resonates with you personally. So Instantly, I heard that as I flipped over these 3 cards, I said that the yin yang reversed could represent something either out of balance or coming into balance. And just instantly when I flipped over these cards, I thought, this isn't necessarily something just in this permanent state of out of balance. What I'm looking at is a situation that is actually shifting into balance. The first card I pulled here is the 3rd chakra card in the upright position. For some reason, I heard building confidence through loneliness, so there could be someone in a situation where they're physically disconnected from their twin or feeling some kind of loneliness, and yet during this time, there is this powerful energetic shift happening within them that is actually cultivating some kind of core inner confidence within them. I am feeling, though, there are other messages in this card that I haven't yet channeled for some people who are listening. So I do want to pull a few more cards to clarify. So what is shifting in the solar plexus chakra right now for this person? I heard again, like confidence building quietly or in silence or in loneliness. I'm getting the energy of someone who's like, I heard growing in secret, which is kind of a strange way to put it, but I feel like someone could be in a period of isolation or loneliness, either with their twin or just physically in society, in the world. But at the same time, something within them is growing, is shifting, is healing, is building, whether this is something they're creating, some kind of creative work or business, or whether this is just about them reconnecting with their most authentic self during this period of intensified loneliness. Yeah, the action card reversed came out here. So I heard that at times, even though this powerful shift is happening through this person, which again, I do feel really does connect somehow with confidence through authenticity. It's like this person is connecting more with their authentic self and therefore developing this kind of core confidence. However, I do see with action in reversed, at times this person may actually think that they are stuck. This person may actually think I'm stagnant in some way. So I'm actually going to pull a card from the Starseed Oracle for whoever I'm connecting with here. What does this person who sometimes feels stuck need to know? This action reverse card could also connect with someone feeling as though things aren't moving forward fast enough or at all within their twin flame connection in the physical. So that may also resonate with you. So the card from the Starseed Oracle I said I was going to pull is called Soul Gifts and Training. It's time to step up. That word training really stood out to me. It's like through this period of isolation, potentially even through things not seeming to move forward in the physical with this person's twin flame, this is actually a powerful, divinely orchestrated period of time, almost like this sort of energetic portal through which this person is able to cultivate their soul gifts. What I said was like authenticity, reconnecting with their most authentic self, cultivating their abilities, whether that's creative, in business, in school, work, whatever it is. And through this period of cultivation, this is like preparing them for something. It's almost like the card I pulled at the beginning of the reading when I said there was this past preparation taking place. I feel that just going back to those 3 traditional tarot cards I pulled in the beginning, I almost feel as though this person has been being prepared for a long time, but somehow through that moment, the 10 of Swords kind of moments of feeling despair, feeling hurt, feeling a bit confused or in the darkness, through that period of time, I feel like this person's training was actually stepped up in a sense. It's like this looked like a very dark, heavy situation, but this was actually I heard like an initiation of sorts. Like through this very dark situation, this person was being prepared more intensely. I heard crash course. It's like everything seemed to be happening too quickly from this person's perspective, or even not going according to plan as this person looked at it through the lens of the 3D, through the lens of the ego. But what was really happening is this person was being prepared in a more intense way than ever before. And again, I do feel whatever could have happened with that Ten of Swords situation, that sense of betrayal, despair, this could have to do directly, it could be directly related to this action reverse, to things not moving forward. I heard it just seemed like you were dragging your feet or not wanting to commit, not wanting to label this, not wanting to move forward in some way. That's what I'm sensing from someone listening to this reading. Now, the second card I pulled from the Energy Oracle deck was Envy in the reverse position. I heard stepping from the darkness into the lights. I'm going to see if I can get a few more clarification cards for this Envy reversed card. So what is going on with this Envy in the reverse? Wow, okay. Fourth chakra, the heart chakra in the upright position. You broke my heart wide open. I'm getting this kind of tingling at the top of my head, which could mean that there is some kind of shift happening through the crown chakra, the connection with the divine, through this heart chakra opening. I was actually channeling information about this when I was meditating a few days ago. This heart chakra opening taking place in a very intense way. Of course, this is always happening. The heart chakra is always shifting, healing, opening through twin flame connection. But I did feel some kind of intensifying. Now, if you're feeling this intensification of heart chakra opening at this time, you could have moments of just feeling incredibly emotional out of nowhere, like this wave of emotion. You could feel, as this shift continues to unfold, a kind of sudden sense of intense love and adoration, pure unconditional love that seems to hit you out of nowhere for your twin. And this can actually be a sign that you are, and your twin flame is, healing this wounded heart chakra energy between you. I'm also seeing this connected with the action in reverse card. It's like what I'm hearing here is this heart chakra opening that is taking place has to happen before the action can happen, before the moving forward can happen. I also have protection. It's almost as though the twin flame connection I'm channeling is being divinely protected from moving forward too quickly into action before the energy is stable through this healing of the heart. Now, if you are feeling this very intensely, this emotional intensity coming through, these waves of unconditional love and adoration that could at times then be met with feelings of intense sadness. These emotions we process through this heart chakra opening can move in both directions. We can feel negatives and positives very intensely. If you are going through this at this time, I would recommend my twin flame heart chakra activation subliminal. So I will be leaving a link to that in the pinned comment and description box under the video. But this is designed to assist you through this heart chakra activation process. It contains powerful binaural beat frequencies to really activate your heart chakra energies to their highest state of being. Also, it's designed to just assist you in clearing out any kinds of residual negative energies stored within the heart chakra that can prevent you from fully, unconditionally, lovingly connecting with your twin flame. Because whenever we do block off our own heart, put walls up, energetically speaking, around ourselves, or when our twin does this, it not only affects the heart center energy, it actually affects so much more. It affects our ability to communicate, to move forward in the physical, because it causes this kind of destabilization overall in the energy of our connection. And as I always say, that stable energy union in the fifth dimension, in the energetic realm, is necessary. We have to create that first with our twin flame before we can step forward in the physical into what we sometimes call physical reunion. So again, the link to this twin flame heart chakra activation is in the pinned comment and description if that is resonating with you in some way. Now, the third card I pulled initially is the World card in the upright position. expansion, opening up, breaking open, or a breaking leading to a breaking wide open. I'm going to pull a few clarification cards for this as well. Wow, the sixth chakra, the third eye chakra in the upright position. I actually felt guided to create a podcast video a few weeks ago on the third eye chakra specifically. This connects with our intuition. I'm laughing because I remembered that something I had researched through the third eye that really resonated with some of you is that, in a sense, both of our physical eyes represent duality, represent seeing in black and white, and the third eye, the eye in the center, the invisible eye, the energetic eye, represents connected consciousness, represents seeing beyond, transcending duality. And the reason I was laughing is because this connects so perfectly to this shift I'm feeling through twin flame connection at this time on the planet. It is this shift from seeing through a lens of unconditional love, which is truly just another way of framing duality, seeing things as very black and white, seeing division, seeing ourselves as very disconnected from others. It's a transcendence from that perspective into feeling oneness, seeing connection with everyone and everything. So this breaking open, this expansion is expanding us into this transcendence above duality, above black and white thinking, above conditionally loving frequencies. Now, all morning I have been feeling this kind of pressure right in my third eye center. So if some of you have been feeling this as well, this can be some kind of collective third eye chakra shift, a kind of opening of the intuition, of intuitive abilities, of beginning to see through the oneness rather than through the duality. So let me know in the comments if any of you have been feeling any kind of forehead pressure or migraines or anything like that. Also, if you are feeling those sensations or you would like to tap in more clearly to your third eye, to your intuition, your connection to your own intuition, and be able to hear that more clearly, I do have a third eye chakra activation that I will leave in the pinned comment and description as well. So I'm going to reshuffle the cards here and get into more specific messages for both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So I am going to start by channeling 3D messages from the divine masculine. For those of you who are new here, I do make a distinction between 3D physical messages and 5D higher self messages, because very often what we feel or experience through the lens of the physical, through our physical interactions, can be very different than what we are experiencing energetically, than what our higher self, our soul self, knows about this person, this connection, or this situation. So let's see what's going on with the 3D self of the masculine at this time. What does the 3D masculine want to say? For some reason I heard catch up. So there might be a masculine who had asked someone to catch up sometime or wanted to call to catch up or meet up. I feel that might just be for one specific person. The words faster, brief, and wild also came out. I almost get this feeling that there could have been something about someone's meeting with a person or their connection generally that felt like it moved very quickly, had a very kind of wild, beautiful, wild, I wanted to say crazy, but that sounds like a judgmental world. It's like this very, very wild kind of energy to it. And moved very quickly, but was also very brief. The word brief also came out in the word scramble, which, by the way, the love word scramble is just a tool I use to channel specific words for the reading. And as I was saying all that, the woman holding a heart in the upright position came out here. So I feel I'm channeling someone specific here who could be in a situation where the divine masculine, again, this was some kind of, I heard affair for someone. So either a literal, there could have been some kind of an affair involved, a third party situation, or alternatively, I heard the song Illicit Affairs by Taylor Swift. If you've ever heard that song, it's like, I'm just getting this energy from this person who it's like their connection was brief and wild and fast and chaotic, and yet seemed unsustainable in some way. And for many, I do feel this could have to do with some kind of third-party energy or situation. Alternatively, this woman holding a heart card, I could also interpret as someone feeling as though they couldn't hold on to the other's heart. It's like, I wanted to hold your heart, but I couldn't. I felt like I was grasping at this experience as it was just chaotically flying by me. I couldn't fully grasp it. I couldn't hold on to it. And then the community card came out here in the upright position. I heard other people involved, like this energy of they don't understand us or our connection, and yet they affected it. Or I'm getting the energy of people expressing opinions about this twin flame connection, either behind these people's backs or to their face, or there being some kind of interference from friends or family members or just people around them generally. Or this also could be society's expectations, somehow preventing them from being able to solidify this connection fully and stabilize it in the physical. And I'm getting a lot of past energy from this. So I feel for many, this could have been describing a dynamic that happened months or years ago. And again, I do feel these messages are pretty specific right now and probably not meant for everyone. The word dawn came out here. I'm seeing two people like laying together and it's the middle of the night, and then suddenly the dawn breaks. And I heard like the spell broke with the dawn. It's like, as I know this is so metaphoric, but it's like I'm getting this energy of two people who felt as though they were under some kind of spell, the spell of their love, the spell of each other. But then I heard disillusioned. It's like this feeling as though somehow that spell was broken. Somehow that connection was changed. And someone even looked at this connection because of whatever happened and thought, was I just finally seeing the truth? Am I just being disillusioned to this fantasy? Was I just being delusional? That's the word I was looking for. I feel like someone may have even like called themselves delusional, wondered, am I delusional? Was I delusional for feeling this way about this person? And then, of course, the card, What Do You Need to Release, came out from the Moonology deck, Waning Moon. I heard the ending brought things to the surface. You will know if that connects for you personally, but I'm hearing for many of you, there was some kind of end point to all of this. If you're connecting with these messages, the chaos, the wild energy, the beauty, being spellbound, being enraptured with each other, and then suddenly feeling as though that spell was broken. I feel like through the breaking of that spell, that's once again bringing us back to that Ten of Swords card at the beginning of the reading, this despair, this hopelessness. However, what this Moonology card is saying is that situation when you felt as though you were disillusioned, the spell was broken. Really, through this situation, something was being brought to the surface that needed to be released. Now, we are speaking here to the 3D masculine, although there are many more kinds of messages coming through. For both kinds of couples, I'm kind of smelling perfume, so that might connect with someone specifically. But with this What Do You Need to Release card, I'm hearing this may connect specifically to this masculine. It's like this masculine had things that needed to be released. Yes, this connection was beautiful and intense and full of passion and energy. And yet I feel I'm channeling a masculine here who could not sustain it. It's like I feel a divine feminine on the other side of this thinking, I couldn't hold on to your heart, or someone else is holding your heart if it's a third party situation, or like something about this isn't sustainable. I'm getting disillusioned. But what's going on here is this masculine has something that needs to be let go, and it's being brought up to be released through this situation of disillusionment. So I'm going to go ahead and channel some information on what this masculine needs to release. So I'm going to reshuffle the other cards here. The word court came out here, so there could be a masculine dealing with some kind of legal issue at some point. Also the word source, and with the word source I heard there could be a divine feminine who had some kind of source of information about this masculine that caused disillusionment. So this could have been a message she got from someone else about him. This could be something she heard or something she intuitively sensed. This could even be, I keep seeing a phone, so this could be something that she got from his phone or social media or something like that. It's like some source of information that brought something to the surface that caused disillusionment for this divine feminine, but also brought something up that this masculine needs to let go or release. The sun in the reverse position. I heard fear of starting over, so that might connect for someone's masculine, fear of like this new beginning. Why was this masculine I'm connecting with here afraid of starting over? Healer of the ages reversed. Because I wasn't yet fully healed, so I felt as though I couldn't sustain this new future, this new beginning. I feel like there's a divine masculine here who felt this really intense shift coming in, as we all have felt collectively. This new beginning trying to make its way in, this culminating kind of energy, this energetic preparation happening through his connection with the divine feminine, and yet that powerful transformation, that transformative process, that energetic culmination brought to the surface this fear of not being worthy of it, not being enough for it. It's like the more beautiful and powerful and intense this love connection between him and the divine feminine became, the more he became afraid that he either wasn't worth it or wasn't going to be able to sustain it, because he had this awareness that he wasn't yet fully healed enough. Now I want to know, what about this masculine wasn't fully healed? Why wasn't this masculine fully healed? The words mental and body came out, so I'm obviously seeing two sides there. The mental representing this masculine could have been coping with some kind of mental illness, or I heard like depression or anxiety or something, even addiction, something coming to the surface that connects somehow with the mental, with the mind. But also with body, I'm hearing that for some, this divine masculine may actually physically have had some kind of injury. I heard like surgery, injury, or recovery, sickness even. There was something physically that this masculine had to process or recover from as well. So there was this very deep level healing that had to take place within this masculine before he would be capable of sustaining this new beginning. And I feel he knew this on some unconscious level, which could have actually caused him to push the feminine away, because it brought up these feelings of unworthiness, these feelings of, I don't feel like I'm enough for you because I'm unconsciously aware that I'm not fully healed. And Goddess of the Moon in the reverse, this represents, I heard this masculine within himself was in the past out of touch with his more sensitive side, his more spiritual side. I heard specifically there could be someone who, there was a divine feminine in this situation that's coming through. This could just be for one person, but this divine feminine literally knew that they were twin flames. She was very conscious of this, which is very often the case. It's very often the divine feminine that has this knowledge before the masculine, but I feel that this specific divine feminine tried to tell this masculine about them being twin flames, or to just share more about the spiritual knowledge she had about this connection. And this masculine knew that she was right. He knew that what he was feeling was a very intense soul connection. But somehow this divine feminine saying this aloud or putting it into words caused him to become afraid, because he was still intuitively blocked. He wasn't yet fully ready to feel into his more sensitive, intuitive, spiritual side. So there's almost like this healing, this balancing within him of his own inner masculine and feminine, because we do all have a balance. We're not just entirely one or the other. There was this balancing that had to happen within him in order to fully consciously accept this connection on the conscious level for what it is, even though unconsciously on a soul level, he already felt it. He knew it in his soul. He could sense it. But consciously, there was just this fear coming up here. I also heard third eye chakra block, so this could simply be that he was just disconnected a bit from his own spiritual side, his own intuition. So the idea of being a twin flame or being involved in this kind of very intense soul connection was, it's like his conscious mind was still judging this experience through the lens of what is societally widely acceptable, through the lens of duality, like we talked about with those two physical eyes representing seeing things in black and white. I feel like there's a masculine here who was very logical, really saw things in black and white, and because of that could have struggled to fully accept this connection. And the feminine, being so aware of it and so vocal about it, could have actually caused him to be a bit afraid, could have brought these fears to the surface. But what this is really doing is actually clearing out these intuitive blocks, these third eye blocks within him, and balancing his inner masculine and feminine. I do feel something about this connection jointly, this feminine and masculine side. There was this imbalance happening between the masculine and feminine energies because of these intuitive blocks the masculine had that may have caused this divine feminine to actually step into a kind of pushing or chasing energy, trying to force this knowing onto the masculine before he was fully balanced and ready. Now, if these messages specifically are connecting with you, I would also recommend my Awakened Divine Feminine or Awakened Divine Masculine Subliminal. You select the subliminal that connects with the energy you most strongly identify with. So if you are the feminine, you would listen to the Awakened Divine Feminine. Each of these respectively is designed to deeply shift and balance your inner masculine and feminine energies. And then of course, because your counterpart mirrors that energy, they will come into balance within themselves as well. And that will result in a stabilization of your connection with one another that of course will lead to more manifested physical interaction and connection from that space of energetic stability. So I will leave links to those two subliminals in the pinned comment and description box. But I am going to go ahead and move forward to the Divine Feminine. So what is this Divine Feminine feeling in the physical? What is happening with this Divine Feminine in the 3D? The words brain and broken came out. It's really interesting that the word scramble brought forth words that connected with some kind of mental struggle, a struggle of the minds for both the masculine and the feminine in the 3D, which leads me to believe both counterparts could be struggling with, again, some kind of mental illness or anxiety, fear-based mentality, something going on with the mind. However, through all of that, through these potential kinds of mind struggles or mental struggles, the card that came out first from the Energy Oracle is Door to Spirit in the upright position. This is also very synchronistic because I am a Divine Feminine and I felt, as I told you, that kind of forehead pressure that can connect with third eye chakra shifts. So if you're a Divine Feminine feeling this could be because, as this Door to Spirit card indicates, we are going through this greater opening through the third eye, through the intuition, an opening to the divine. a shifting from seeing things through the lens of duality to seeing things through the third eye, through the lens of oneness, connectedness. I heard through disconnection in the physical, I am realizing we are connected in more ways than I ever knew consciously in the past. It's like I'm getting this energy of a feminine and masculine who in the physical are somehow disconnected from one another, either in terms of communication, physical distance. There's some kind of disconnect, but through this experience of disconnect, this divine feminine is actually learning, training to see oneness, to transcend what she sees through her physical eyes, this duality, this black and white thinking, this division between herself and the masculine, transcending that and realizing her connectedness, being able to sense the connectedness beneath the physical illusion, through being disconnected from the masculine and yet being able to sense him so profoundly. It's like this experience of knowing you are connected and yet seeing separation is teaching this divine feminine to see oneness. And as I was speaking, very interestingly, the Healer of the Ages reversed came out again. This is the identical card that came out for the masculine. So what I'm seeing is it's not just the masculine that has been healing things that have been brought to the surface that must heal these things to stabilize this energy union that will of course lead to a physical reunion. It's actually the feminine as well. There's something that the feminine is healing here also. So I do want to just ask what the divine feminine is healing or what was brought to the surface that needed to be healed for this divine feminine. Angel of Balance in the upright position. Something needed to come into balance. I'm actually going to pull some emotion cards for this. So what is it that this divine feminine needed to bring into balance? What had to be brought into balance here? Loneliness. I know that I am never alone. Gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. I heard finding peace with the loneliness, being able to be alone with yourself. There could be a divine feminine here who I heard independent and yet codependent, which may sound paradoxical, but I'm channeling a divine feminine who this probably will just be one or two people listening, but there's someone here who has always been very independent minded and can spend a lot of time physically alone, creating, doing things. But at the same time, when it comes to love relationship or family relationship, just relationships generally, this divine feminine really struggles with feeling abandoned within these emotional connections. So physically, she can be alone with herself, but emotionally, she really has these kinds of codependent tendencies and a lot of anxieties surrounding especially love connection. And I feel this really somehow came into play with the divine masculine in this situation, because it's like those same kinds of anxieties and codependencies came out through this connection. And yet there was this breaking point. There was this moment where I heard, because of the disillusionment or whatever happened, she was no longer capable of codependently relying upon this masculine for this external sense of validation that she was chasing. And through that experience of not having the external validation, she then was pushed to turn within herself and truly find that validation within herself, perhaps for the first time, to find peace with being with oneself, with being alone with herself in not just a physical sense, but an emotional sense as well. Again, I feel that message could only be for a few people listening, so only take it if it resonates with you. I just want to see if there's anything else that's this specific divine feminine needs to know. The words allow and larger and also mad came out here. So mad could mean that there is literally some anger coming up here, or that has come up at times. I heard again, that's why did this have to happen? Why did it have to happen this way? I channeled that message earlier, and I feel this may be the same person feeling this kind of anger coming up here. But with allow larger, what I'm hearing is let go of what you thought you wanted to allow something greater to make its way in. It's like make room in your heart for something greater by letting go what you thought from your physical perspective, from your limited ego-based perspective that you wanted. And of course, as I was saying that, the card loosen your grip came out. Coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let the divine in. So what I'm really hearing is that there's a divine feminine here who I feel like they're on this process of opening their intuition, awakening spiritually. They're very spiritually conscious. And yet these things are coming to the surface for healing. Specifically, as I said, for someone listening, there are these emotional codependencies that did come up through this challenging situation of disillusionment with the masculine. However, through all of that, she is learning to be alone with herself emotionally, meaning to be capable of emotionally validating and supporting herself in a way that she never has before. But through that process, there is this need to release control, to let go of ego-based timelines and expectations, to loosen her grip on what she thought she wanted for herself, her life, or this connection, to allow in possibility, what could be if she would release her limited vision. It's like there's something about, I wanted it to happen in a certain way at a certain time, and even still, even as I am learning to release this control, even as I'm continuing to cultivate my spiritual gifts, my intuitive abilities, as I'm continuing this journey, there is still this occasional tendency coming up to attempt to suddenly grasp at it or try to control it or shift it in some way through exertion, through chasing, through exertion of control. And that is what is still coming to the surface to be released for this divine feminine. Now, I said this before, but I really do feel many specific messages came out in this reading, so only take what connects with you personally and leave the rest. I am going to close this reading here, and I'm going to go ahead and head over to the extended version of this reading. So if you are joining me in the extended, you can do so by clicking the link in the pinned comment or description box under this video. For those of you who are stopping off here, thank you so much for joining me here today in this reading. I hope you received something of value from this reading, and if you did, please be sure to leave me a comment under this video. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel for twin flame energy updates, podcast videos, and of course, I do spiritual podcast videos as well. My podcasts are not twin flame exclusive, although I do create a lot of twin flame content. So thank you for being part of this beautiful community we are creating here together. If you would like to explore more information about any of the subliminal meditations I mentioned during this reading, all of the links to those are also in the pinned comment and description box. You can try out any of the more than 100 subliminals I've created completely free for 7 days by creating a free trial account on my website, soundandsoulful.com. And again, all of the information on that is linked below. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, magical rest of your day, and I will talk to you again in the next twin flame reading video.